Now it's perfect. Yeah. Well, good morning, everybody. So today we will start by explaining the workshop that is called Generating New Ideas and Making Decision Techniques. So this workshop was created in order to help students to share the ideas for the next um, Congress as well in terms of abstracts, and also is based in the idea of for people that improve the way to being creative, for being creative in terms of this new ideas. So we will, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Antonio Anton, professor of Department of Business Management in the Faculty of Economics in Alicante. And well, the coordinations, this workshop is coordinated, well, is ruled by Cloud Hair Eye project that is dealing with sustainable issues and also circular economy and other issues that has to do with environment. So thank you for Cloud Hair Eye project to give me the opportunity to share my things in this project. Well, the idea for this workshop is, well, will be online, as you know it. It will be free as well, that you have opportunities. And the people that finish this workshop by doing the proper practical assignments of the exercise, they have opportunity to get a certificate. So, well, this is the first you come from, or you come from other universities. So remember that I belong to University of Alicante. In this is the Faculty of Economics as well, where I am. You decide in the future to come here, a very beautiful place. And then this is the timetable for those days. Remember that approximately at 10:30 to 11, we will carry out a break. Dates of February on today, tomorrow, and Wednesday will be the student will be the same, but in the 2nd of February we change in terms of another classes from 11:30 to 16:30, and the break will be from 15 to 15:30. So approximately to at 10:30 we will carry out our break. Well, welcome to the Generating New Ideas and Decision Making Techniques. This is my email for people wanting to contact me or wherever you want. And this is the program, the syllabus in terms of different areas that we want to talk to in this workshop. So today we will focus on the first point that is called creativity tools. Then tomorrow and the next we will talk on problem solving techniques, and finally we will focus on decision making techniques. So every part of the syllabus, as you see the photos, has a relation with environmental issues. Okay, so every time that I try to put information about an example, try to connect with issues, with green problems, with sustainable issues, with economy, circular economy, that are very, very important in terms of the climate change or whatever it is. So that's the idea to connect creativity tools with those issues. So the objective of these workshops is the ways to generate with new ideas, understanding the different techniques to to solve problems, or solve complex problems. Have students to make decisions and to choose this decision in terms of sustainability and business ideas. Workshop, as I said before, you have the options. The first, well, we need to go on this workshop, try to attend that. You have the option to attend the workshop. However, you can't attend the workshop. We do online, but Tamara coordinator will be allotted documentations online, and you have the choice to see the different workshops, different informations, contents online, and you can access to finish the different exercises, to carry out the different exercises that they've been uploaded on the UACLAO CloudHeart web. Well, you can participate as well in every issue. So here you have not attended the classes. You can continue to do these exercises online. And let's start by the model 1. What is the creativity tools? What is creativity? What are the creativity tools? Well, I divided this first part in creativity based on circular economy and approaches to sustainable and circular economic creativity. It's the first part of creativity. So we'll start by talking to the creativity issues in terms of circular economy. Well, circular economy has a lot of issues in terms of sustainable goals. According to the European Union, we divide it in 17 issues that we need to tackle it. Basically, these CloudHeart projects is focused on issues that has to do with sustainable issues, like from the responsible consumption and production, so sustainable issues, clean energy or climate actions like below water, so clean water as well, whatever issues that there are relations with the planet. And we try try not to lose these sustainable development goals, and try to explain the contents of what involves creativity. So if someone perhaps is familiar with these issues, but not as much as the circular economy, that is a model of sharing today, leasing, reusing, repairing, and recycling existing materials. So that's the way to focus on these issues in terms of not to a model of consumption, but model more than to share, to less, and reuse these, recycle the different products. Well, so let's start by explaining creativity. Creativity, people, some of you might think that they are very creative, so they're not. So it's good to see an issue for discussing in terms of, we do believe that we are creativity. Sometimes creativity is the way to imagine, to invent something. In different courses that I am entrepreneur, I launched carry out in the University of Alicante. Well, one of the first issues that I demand for students is that they do believe that creativity is not to creative an idea. So thinking you need to use this creativity for creating anything. It could be a project, is a good idea. If I have an idea, why not to create? I said to a student the same. When it comes to creating an idea, you have two options. Perhaps when you are hired by a company, so this is your idea. So perhaps you say that the idea is not required to create idea, but in every department you need to create something. Something is a project for expansion, something is project for markets, and is something about to enter a market, sustainable to enter a market in terms of sustainability, or whatever it is, or launch a product or services. So you need to be creative, and this is the way for the techniques for starting to be creative. And then when you grouping, and when you group for mates or colleagues, and you need to start to be creative. Here, I showed you the solutions to some techniques that to use in terms of it. There are a lot of techniques that are focused in because we lack of time. I focus on some ideas, but on some techniques. The first, all the ideas that in terms of being creativity, in terms of create something, has to do with the right brain hemisphere. This is a theory that there are people that they are in favor or not, but they do believe that the right area is related to being creative. So we might say that the right hemisphere, the right part of your brain, is now is focusing on creating new ideas. On the left will be more for being more linear, for being more focused on calculations, make calculations rather than being creative. Well, there are theories. There are some people that this is debated, but the last research shows that there are interconnections between the right, left, and the left hemisphere. So there are interconnections with the neuron as well. So this information is transmitted to part to another, even though it's true that the brains are different, but the connections there. But in general, we might say that being creative is related to the right hemisphere. So today, before the break, I will show you some techniques in terms of this brainstorming. I will show you that first approach that is called starburst. Perhaps you are used to use the technique of brainstorming. That is brainstorming to create ideas or whatever. So this is a mix that comes from technique that comes from brainstorming. I use it, but with different approaches. First is approach. The starbursting is a form of, it's in the category of brainstorming. Different brainstormings. When you say brainstorm, you need to brainstorm. So people group, and then people group, and then they start to generate ideas, to come up with new ideas, to come up with these questions or answers or whatever. This approach is different. It's more related to generate ideas. And here, in order to understand this first technique in terms of being creative, is about, well, this is an example of sustainable as skating boot. We'll start by doing it in terms of sustainability, skating boot. Well, let's start by doing this product, launching a product, but in terms every time of sustainability or circular economy. Well, taking account this area in terms of circular economy, you need to it's not only about produce, it's more related to what involves recycling structures or manufacturing, or including some issues, some textile or different issues that they can't damage the climate change, can damage the soil of the earth, can't damage what's involves some bad ingredients for the atmosphere, of the soil of the air, whatever it is. So the idea is, well, sharing to take out in this product the possibility to reusing, repairing, or recycling with these materials. And I know that so the leather of this skating boot will be different because they come from textile that's sustainable, or fiber that are sustainable, and also the metals will be recycled. We can recycle the metal of this skating boot, so we might say that we need to being sustainable could be the way, the idea of target market. Okay, this is we are very really aware that is a market people, perhaps it's a segment of people that have very concerned about the circular economy, and we need to target them. Okay, we need to well, our aim is to achieve this target. Well, when define the segment, the idea, well, we'll start. You know, we are very well that is a good segment that they are interested in idea. It's time to launch this product. Okay. Well, in terms of this technique, this idea is well, we will start by explaining this on a star. We will explain a star. So you need to draw this this star in a piece of paper on your laptop or in your computer. And so it's very important in terms of this this technique to show the different questions, but we need to focus on different questions like why, who, what, how, where, when. So it's a good way for people when they start to brainstorming to question different answers about to get solutions, to get possible solutions, to get possible answers. So focus on questions like this example. When you define this star, it's time to write the words who, what. This is the second step. And then it is like an example, sustainable ice skating boot. And then the third is to say, well, I just starting the brainstorm the questions about, you need to split the different questions from the central star. So star busting is about it. It's not the idea to try to answer any of the questions, but concentrating more in the questions that as soon as you can. Well, in this example, you have the skating boots, the skates, and well, I show you an example with different questions. Who will manufacture them? Who are they for? Who will work on the project? And what price should they be? What colors? What should they be called? Or in terms of how they help you, how will we promote them? In terms of where we'll get them, or where should we shoot the advertisement, or when should we launch them in terms of time, taking account the deadlines, when do we need to finalize the designs, or why people choose them, why have our competitors not tried this already? So there are different questions in terms of the first module. Then when you finalize the question, it's time to get this information. It's time to start. Well, in terms of what should they be called? Well, this is a name about that I need to put, or who will work on the product, the people that need to go on the productions, or why will people choose them? Here, for instance, why you are defining more the idea of the target of the group. When do we need to finalize is in terms of time. This is a way to explore different answers to these questions. And this is an example of backup, another example, apart from the skateboard. So you have another example, a sustainable backup for women. Here, well, I show you this example. This is in terms of brainstorming. It's not the requirement to use the same words, questions that I use it in this example. Is you the person that need to define which questions who will use the product, who will produce the product, who will market the product, who will help design the product. Here, you define the people that are concerned to different departments. Well, here, for instance, in what are more related to marketing, what type of material, what are the dimensions, the designs, the price. So we might say that is more marketing. How we'll get the feedback on the prototypes is more the care service. How will we market? How we target? How we will target the market, or we will sell it? It's the same to backup, to be cleaned or delivered. Here, where will we have it produced? Where will we market? We're talking about locations. When will the backup be used? When will we start productions? When will we start marketing the product? The same in terms of time, deadlines. And why is this product here? By showing why would someone want to buy it? Why would the customer choose our product? For me, it's fantastic. Because why is associated with the idea that we talk about value proposition. This is your value proposition in terms of being sustainability, in terms of creating sustainable back. Okay? So value proposition is for what you differentiate from competitor. So in a very slide, very short slide, I will show you some questions that can get you to create new ideas in terms of a product or a service. There are other examples in your slides as well, or this is more simple, but because there are only 2 questions, sometimes 1. So who is our target audience? So I will recommend 4 or 5 questions per star, per part of this start. And then to brainstorm your idea. So keep in mind this model in terms the next time that you need, well, I'm going to group with these people to create and join with some mates and to create an idea, and it's time to focus, well, to explain it. You know about this issue, so it could be recommended to explain to your mates. That's what involves this model in terms of star vesting, that it shows you that different 5 questions. Here, for the people that are watching this video, I suggest to start by create one of the exercise 1, that is related to this exercise. So if you don't see the exercise right now in your Cloud Hierarchy projects, so it could be good to start to in your laptop, in the Word document to create your sustainable idea in terms of the star vesting method. And I show you that with the aim to sustainable plan in university. So I encourage you to think about one of ideas to create a good idea, sustainable idea, in terms of effects to the maybe it's your corporate plan, sustainable corporation, a corporate plan in your university, and try to do something about to get it better. Yeah, every university, for instance, in economy, we tend to explain to the corporate plan, social corporate plan. This is a plan that need to deal with environment issues, and so it could be due to, for me, it would be perfect to start to think this idea in terms of the sustainable plan. And why not create something that it would be good for the university? Well, here is very, very simple. Here is a fountain. Well, here, this is a fountain. Why not to think, well, my campus have a lot of fountains, and try to, what about the water? The water is a lack of resources. It's a way to diminish the lack in terms of sustainability, but I don't know it's not my goal to use this fountain use this fountain as a way to put in the plan university. Perhaps your university has a lot of fountains and but how I can't improve it. Okay, it's about this something that I might improve in terms of water for using it. Can I recycle the water to some extent with something, or perhaps new ideas that is not involve fountain, but new ideas that can improve my campus in the university by using the star vesting method. Please, if you have any questions, put the microphone on, and I try to solve these questions. The second idea is talk about lateral thinking. Okay, lateral thinking is about another way to well, in terms of lateral thinking, could be the third part of this creativity tools model. That here I show you informations, contents that has to do is what you are more what involves lateral thinking. And so I want you to show you if you feel that you are more lateral or more linear thinking. So lateral thinking is you, as a question, I want you to state that you are more linear or lateral person. So questions, so you feel you are at the end of this workshop, before the break, perhaps, I will show you if what's the difference between linear or lateral person. So lateral person is a term that was created by Bono, not the singer. This was a very person that will focus on generating ideas. They have good job with research and books, very important research in terms of how I need to think. Very general overall. I need to define it in this picture. The first picture, you have a person that there's a problem and you need to find a solution. Okay, it's very common nowadays when you face a problem, you say, well, this is a problem. What the solution will be? Well, it's a wall. Perhaps you say, well, this is a wall. I need to jump it, and then when I jump it, I can get the ball. That this is my goal. Well, here perhaps the ball, or this is the solution. The ball is the same of the solution. No? It's something for illustrate in these examples. So they have solutions now. However, in terms of lateral thinking, you see, you face to three solutions. No? First, jump it, okay, get whatever it is, achieve my goal, whatever it is where I need to finish this race. Imagine this is an obstacle race. You need to get in the proper time to get some reward. Okay. Here they show you different methods. All right, jump it, but on the right or on the left to get the same result. We face to three choices rather than one. So this is more in terms of lateral. Involves to find different solutions for one problem. Perhaps the more common problem is that to jump it. However, in terms of being laterally different, we find different solutions at the same time. And so this is being lateral. So good question to say you are more lateral or more linear. In school, we professors and teachers in the primary school, secondary school, basically they learn us to be more linear, to find only one problem, one solution. But sometimes we are not aware that for finding different solutions, you need to be more lateral. You think you try to be more train our brain hemisphere. Well, as I said before, linear is someone that is very logical, vertical thinking. I don't know if you are aware for people that they are linear. Perhaps it's your brother, your sister, one mate, one boss, or one people that are very linear. Linear, they are the persons that are very, very logical. When it comes to find different issues, it's not very, they are not very close for people that they are not very logical or vertical. For them, being logical is the first approach and the basic approach, but not to find other solutions. This is for being logical or vertical thinking. It's based basically in logics and rules. I don't know if you are aware of the series that is called from the Sheldon. This was example of the series. This was in the series, a funny series that this guy, well, this guy not the author, by interpreting someone that is seldom, they say, very logical or vertical thinking, but not try to get different ideas. So they are talking about logical rules of rationality. It's more related to left brain hemisphere. The series that I've forgotten the name is Big Bang Theory. That's very an example. What a person is very linear. It's not an example like this, but it's to understand what is being logical, what is logical. It's linked to intelligence as well, probation, to try to problem solvent or wherever it is. That's the the terms of linear reasoning. Try to focus on one path. To solve mathematical problems is typical for learning and schools. What is another way to being linear? Basically, our models of teaching or education is focused on these linear issues. It relies on the left side, for being creative and original thoughts. So here we need to focus on the left side part of our brain rather than the right brain of the hemisphere. So there are little space for being creativity and original thought. And on the opposite, we must say opposite. Well, I need to explain it. It's not for me being opposite. Opposite would be different, but I think so lateral thinking and linear thinking are complementary. So we find that these issues complement together, and they are not the opposite. Instead, lateral thinking is not opposed to vertical thinking. So to some extent, there are links to linear thinking. Here we talk about divergent and being creative. Divergent, you are divergent, which involves damage. So we might say in making an overall that lateral thinking is to complement vertical thinking rather than being opposite to vertical thinking. So lateral thinking, as I said before, relies on flexibility, searching for creativity and original solutions, as the way that the photo that show you the first step. You remember the photo said the one guy trying to put a wall, try to jump it, and to get get something. And the other way, they find different solutions for different parts. And well, make some trying to make an overall of it. They are exploring many different ideas to research solutions. What is called is thinking outside the box. Could be more creative and innovations. So it's different from linear. And here, the author of it was Bono from Design the Business. And in terms of some overview, in terms of what we talk about lateral thinking. So lateral thinking is the right part of the brain. This is on the other side. The linear thinking is what is different. It's the part of calculations, logical or whatever. And this brain's part is related to visualization, intuitions, and daydreaming. So might say that the right part, when you are working with the right part, you are working more for imaginations, for visualizations, for arts, or whatever, rather than being logical. So when you activate this part or the lateral thinking, you need to produce more ideas. You develop and improve your ideas, produce, innovate solutions, come up with problems, use creativity to come to solutions. This is the right part. So let's start by by one another exercise for today that is not very simple. It's very simple to decide if you are more linear or lateral thinker. Well, here my aim for this exercise is to show you if you decide you are more linear. They are very short questions, but what I want you is to evaluate yourself. Very, very short. So to evaluate yourself in terms of you are more linear or lateral thinker. It's a very simple test with very 10 questions, no more. And as an exercise, link to 1 or 0 to each statement. So you need to say 1 or 0. Depends. So we need to read the questions and then you need to decide. You need to put 1 or 0 to each statement. Those are the questions in terms of linear and lateral thinkers. Well, in terms of linear, we said that you are more methodical or rational when approaching life. So decide, for instance, look at the picture. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions here, and here we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. Okay. So you need to say yes, I agree, or I don't agree. But you can use a LinkedIn table you want it. I put very simple, decide to say yes, 1, or same. Sometimes you say, well, sometimes I'm very methodical or rational. Well, it's up to you. You say you are simple, you can put 1 or 0, or by using a LinkedIn scale, you can use from 0 from 5, right? The maximum you use the LinkedIn scale for 0 from 5. There are 5 questions, so you need to put you are more 5 or 0. In terms of the linear thinkers, well, you must say you are methodical or rational. So rational, methodical is a person that has a way to act. No, I need to my methodical and rational when approaching life. If you are more methodical, you have a method. People are very stick to a method. No, they need to sit on the right side. They need to sit on the left. They need to put some things like this way, this form. Or when you go out to breakfast, they need to eat every time the same, at the same time, at the same hour, in this order. So this is methodological or rational in terms of approaching life. When you go to sleep, the same. They need to use a method for sleeping. They can change the way to do it. Okay, this is more methodical, it's a linear thinking. Pay attention to how the ideas are listed. So put 1 or 0, or decide to use 0 from 5. It's up to you. Second question, in terms of linear, you say, well, I'm feeling more methodical, rational. Do you pay attention to how the ideas are linked when searching for the correct solution to the problem? When searching for a correct solution to the problem. This is a problem, I try to find a solution, nothing else more. Try to solve the problem. Relied on evidence and existing knowledge, rely on facts and evidence and knowledge as well. So try to focus on facts rather than to solve in different ways. So the same 1 to 0. You tend to seek solutions through a single defined directions. The same 1 to 0. And you use rules, patterns to make decisions and solve problems. So every time is defining rule, patterns, and to make decisions. This is linear thinkers. On the other side, well, we might say that is opposite. It is what is called lateral thinkers. And the approach is different. The approach to life is more intuitive, more spontaneous, more artistic, we might say, intuitive. You have intuitions. You are more spontaneous. Sometimes you have a problem and you need to deal with different solutions. Is the effectiveness of the conclusion, no, there are linear steps to follow. Sometimes we need to stick to a plan. Sometimes we need to be effective. You are effective by looking for other solutions. It's what lateral thinkers. You are more spontaneous and creatives. You don't seek to follow directions. For instance, you tend to, well, in the same directions while problem solving. You tend to restructure tasks and change existing ideas. You rely more on creativity, spontaneity, intuitions, and decision-making process. So here you have two parts. So you decided to be linear thinkers, put 1, 0 and 0. You are not related to 0. You need to take a scale between this idea, because you can't use the LinkedIn scale by 10 or 0 or 5 to 0, and then you can go 5 involves you use the LinkedIn scale. 5 is the maximum. You say, well, very, very methodical. You say 5. Well, sometimes I feel very more methodical to some extent, but in 80%, maybe it's 4. Sometimes, occasionally, I put 3, or if very never, or something few, a little bit, perhaps 2 or 1. Finally, 0 is you are not for any methodical rationale at all. Okay, the same. You need to clarify. The idea to get a conclusion to slide to plus is here you use the first method as a method for assess in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be the maximum 5. You use the Likert scale could be 25, the maximum. And here the same, use the Likert scale, the 1 to 5 is the maximum will be 25. However, use the method 1 to 0. So here the maximum is 5. Well, it's good to see you before the breakfast that we carry out more or less in 10 minutes. How I need to improve lateral thinking is very important. Sometimes it's your own genes. It's very complicated to choose something for people who are more lateral than linear. Because it's our genes, this is something in the nature, so there are people that, well, find solutions better than the other. So here, the people said that stress is not good. Stress close the stress, living in the stress is it's a way to tackle, to stop it, the weight of creativity. Something to fear that you face every day, is inside different substances in your body and increase the levels of cortisol or different hormones, and they can increase negative issues, and they close the way to develop new ideas. So the recommendations, there are lots of recommendations, but I focus on one of them that create being the meditation. Meditation is a good way to improve your lateral thinking. Very shortly, in terms of meditation, to create the idea, my suggestions is to practicing. This is in the morning and before going to bed. In the morning, when you wake up, before starting to have your breakfast, you start in the way this time. Perhaps in the middle, it doesn't matter. In the middle at 11 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning, you can't have a break. Perfect. If not, before starting, use the meditation. So it could be good to put your alarm before 10, 20 minutes before, and when you wake up, start to make your own meditation. Meditation is so simple. Sometimes you can stick to recorders to listen to someone, they say what you have to do or whatever to do. However, if you don't want to use this such an artificial records, well, artificials. They are for recording for people, for men or women, using this word for you stick to the what the record say. You can't you focus on you want to do alone. It's up to you to use this meditation. Well, my suggestion is when you wake up, stay on the bed as well. You need to be awake and try to focus on different part of the body. Try to relax, and we will start by. Before this, it's very important to train your body. Instead, your how you breathe. So inspirations when you breathe on and breathe off is very important. Insulate in to take the air in and take off is very important. Breath in, breath off is very important to coordinate your respiration. I suggest to breathe with your stomach, with the diaphragm is diaphragm is on the top of your chest. Okay, you put on the stomach, and then you can see. And when you breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, you feel that your diaphragm in and your diaphragm go in, increase and then decrease. So this is your diaphragm. So my first two step meditations is to start by trying to in 3 seconds with air by looking at focus on your diaphragm. Stop it 3 seconds with your diaphragm in, and then try to expose the air and the air 3 seconds more. So the process is 3, 3, and 3. 3 for in your in and for increase your for in of air your diaphragm. Stop it 3 seconds, and then it's time to breathe out the air on 3 seconds more. When you deal with these inspiration, your body start to relax, and it's time to focus on different part of the body. First, start by your feet, trying to relax your feet, then your legs, then your hands, then your shoulders, then your chest, then your diaphragm, then your back, then your the forehead of the head, the neck as well. So different part for staying in an area. Every part you don't get to be, you need to be awake, okay? Because sometimes you feel that you need to sleep, but the idea is to have to be conscious about the way of relaxation, okay? At the end of the day, you feel that meditation works or not is when you feel very, very power of energy. Okay, it's like you just sleep very well. Like, well, I'm very, very of energy. I sleep very well. Perhaps you sleep or you are in meditation 3 more 10 minutes or 15 minutes. No. Well, here I show you some examples. This is an example before starting, I will show you some example, very simple examples, but take a pen and try to uh, focus on this example. A man wrote traveling to a town on Monday. He stayed for 3 nights and then left on Monday. How can that be? It's a way to improve our the way we are in terms of being more lateral and than linear. So think about this example. I think it's time to make a break, very short break. So the first part of this record is to think about the example. Try to think about it. It's not necessary to do that now, but when we come back in I think 25 minutes, more or less, or 25, the break is between 25, 30 minutes. Okay, it's perfect. 30 minutes we come back. Well, try to focus on this example, this statement. Okay, this is a man road travel into a town Monday. He stayed for 3 nights and then left on Monday. How can that be? So try to think about if something is strange. She stayed for 3 nights and then left on Monday. How is not possible sometimes for linear people. No? So for the lateral person, perhaps there are other solutions, but you can find other solutions. Well, it's time to break. I'm going to come back to come back here. So I'm going to switch off the link, switch off the link here, and I think you in the very short time I will come back with the next part of this course.